Good morning, people of the internet. We're here at Broke Chick Farms, and we're just doing a check on the garden. So, a little background is that I had COVID in 2022, and it was a good year and a half recovering from COVID, and also a domestic situation that I was in. So I lost my garden. I used to have a large garden. It was probably 50 by 100. So this year I've been trying to claw it back. And as you can see here, this is pretty much the state of this area when I started in the spring. That's how it all looked. But this is how it looks now. So we're August the 11th. And I did get in the garden and planted a few things, not much, but I managed to get an area prepped in June. And I planted, as you can see, some corn, some potatoes, some tomatoes, which are over my head right now. They are growing about 6 or 7 feet right now. Those, I believe, are I think they're the little cherry tomatoes. So they're an indeterminate vine. Yeah, so there you go. You can see there's some tomatoes in there. And because the vines are indeterminate, meaning they're infinite, they're just going to grow and grow and grow and grow. And just so happens there's some lamb's quarters. You can see that's going to seed right there. That's some lamb's quarters that's in there. And these things are back on to my compost. So that's why they're just thriving. They're just sucking nutrient out of the compost, and they're climbing the fence, and they're climbing the lamb's quarters, which I've never seen get that high, but that just shows you what good compost can do. So that's what's happening there. I also noticed this morning, I'm really happy because my first beans. Look at those babies, just lovely. Lovely. I only got to plant one little patch, but I planted it in a trailer box to keep the chickens out, and it's mulched with straw to keep the moisture in. And this is just a testament to the Ruth Stout method. If you know anything about Ruth Stout, you can Google her, American farm woman that came up with a organic way of growing her garden that used straw bedding. And it works. We're in a drought right now here in New Brunswick. We have, I'm off work this week because there's a fire ban, so they've closed down our facility, which was on leased Crown land. So I'm gonna catch up a few things in the garden. I'm gonna see this as an opportunity, and we're gonna get a little work done this week. So, like I said, fresh green beans. Is there anything better? Yum. So I did plant 2 rows of potatoes. I didn't buy potatoes to plant. This is just stuff that was in the bag, had eyes, family. They all know in the spring to give me their eye potatoes. But you can see 1 row just didn't take. So I'll probably get in here today, clean this up, throw something else in there. But the potatoes that did go, man, look at these babies. One of my favorite things in the world is potato flowers. Look, aren't they adorable? They're so pretty. They're just so delicate and pretty. They mean nothing. They don't create seed. They're just for pollination of the plants. But even then, I'm not sure that it's that necessary. But they are sweeties. Look at that. So those potatoes are doing good. Just gonna see, sometimes I like to grub around, see if I can find a little potato in here. Back some stuff here. You can see in here it's nice and humid, the soil. It's catching the dew every morning. I'm just gonna dig around, see if I can find anything. Not yet. Not yet. If there's anything in there, they're small. So, all right, leave your girls alone. Let you do what you gotta do. So, that's the potatoes, and I think my phone's overheating. Hang on. There we go. Something happened there. I don't know what happened. I touched something. So these are my tomatoes that are in pots. And as you can see, the drought really affecting them. See, there's like die off here. Now, I haven't been watering these at all. This is just, I put them in the pots thinking it'd be fine, but knowing that there's a drought, obviously not. So, debating. These aren't too embedded in the wire. I might be able to like take them out of the pot and plant it right in the ground. They would do better. But I still do have a lot of produce on there. And these are just a regular sandwich tomato. So I'm gonna water these today. I just finished watering the other pot. You see even the nasturtiums are struggling. I planted the nasturtiums in there just as a ground cover. Keep the chickens out of the pots. A couple things over here doing pretty good. These are my morning glories. They really start to take off in the heat. And I got a couple zinnias. They're pretty. The calendulas, and I got all these from a local farmer down the road. Was at a market. Ryan Atkinson and his wife, they do organic farming, permaculture, and they had some starts. So those are calendula, those are zinnias, and I got some morning glory at that farm market, which I'm pretty happy with these. Next year I'll buy more from them. So this over here is the corn. I had some old seed. Like I said, broke girl, doesn't have money for buying seed, so I had some old seed. I thought I'd try it. It turned okay. I didn't have a lot, but there'll be at least one feed of corn here. So what you can see is I used the straw to mulch. So what happens when you use straw to mulch, you get oats. This is oat straw. So I got oats growing in here. So this is good because this they just start up when they get a little rain. The seed that's in the straw will germ. So all it does is make more straw. Because what I can do is I can come along and pull it and then lay it down in here like this, and it's just more straw. And it acts as a mulch, and you can tell where the oats are. Look at how lush the corn is and how well it's doing. Over here, where I pulled some of those oats, struggling a bit. There's not as much moisture in the ground there because it's not as shady. So this is why mulching is so important in your garden. So I do leave these. What happens, I'll show you in a minute. Actually, I might be able to see some. Yeah, I'm going to come around and I'll show you that the oats will actually make seed. And what happens when that happens is my ducks will go around and they enjoy just pulling the seed and eating it. They eat the oat seeds. So there you go. That's what it looks like when it's gone to seed. Oh, I got a few ripe pear tomatoes in there. I'll have to pick those today. And this is the flower garden in the front that I use to shield the garden from the chickens. This is sea holly. Again, got that from Ryan and his wife. And these are brown-eyed Susans, which I love. These are hardy perennial here in New Brunswick. And they give a lot of color and they will bloom right into the fall. So they're nice. This is the first week of August we just passed. They started to bloom first week of August, and now they'll just go right into October. And these are poppies that are very, very pretty. And I grew these from seed from the grocery store. So when you go to the grocery store in the spice section, you can grab a bag of poppy seed and broadcast it, and just about every one of them will germinate. And you can have lovely, lovely poppies. These are about 3 feet tall. Lovely red colors. Some of them have ruffles. Some of them are like really ruffly. And then you can harvest your own seed. And I will do another video on harvesting poppy seed, but you see those pods? These are not ready to harvest. Do not harvest them when they're green, but I'll explain that all on another video. And this over here is a volunteer. And I was kind of wondering for the last couple weeks what this is, and I notice it has a couple buds, and I realize I think that's an eggplant plant. I think I'm gonna have some aubergines, so I'm really excited about that. I love a volunteer. Carla Emery says never pull a volunteer. And she's right. Like, see this? This is a potato plant that just must have been a random potato, fell out. I got the potato plant right here at the edge of the flower garden. So I'm gonna leave that. No reason to take that out of there. So I'm gonna open this up. This is the herb garden. I have it kind of gridlocked in here because I was trying to keep the chickens out. So just undo my little makeshift fence here and we'll be able to step inside. And everything's a fence. Just like sometimes everything's a hammer, everything's a fence. So here we go. I'm gonna pull this out because I don't need it in here. It's just grown up from the straw, but what you can see as I do that, I'm just laying it down. Laying it down, it becomes more mulch, and it's green, so it's gonna off-gas a bit of nutrient as it deteriorates. And you can see here is my parsley, which is doing lovely. And we'll just keep ripping up as we go along here. This is the only kind of weeding that I do. I've left this so we're the second week of August, and I planted, I believe, the last week of June. So I haven't been in here at all. I have not watered. I have not weeded. I've been working like a dog at my new job. And the garden has been just looking after itself. I don't know what that was. It looked like something else. Oh no, still more. So we can keep laying that down. So maybe that oat will seed itself again and give me some more straw. So this, oh wow, love that. Just get over here, the basil, and uh-oh, my basil's gone. It's going to seed. You can see it's so hot here. Oh man, that smells so good. Lovely. Love that smell of fresh basil. So I was hoping I might get to do a pesto with that, if I can get enough of it, but I might have to come out, trim it, and water it today because it's bolting. And those I just bought at the grocery store. Those are the ones at the grocery store that they sell for $7. I just bought them and tucked them in the ground. That's 2 plants there. That's pretty good. I have a little bit of an overgrown piece of poppy here that's fallen down into some of my stuff, so I'm gonna lay it sideways to get it out of my way. I don't necessarily need these. I'll probably just break them off and get rid of them. I got lots of seed from the other ones that I picked this morning. So in here, I do have, oh, there you go. See that poppy head? I don't know if I got a good picture of it there, but you see the little holes at the top there? Maybe if I use my phone. Right there. You see how they're open? That has seed in it, and if I just go like that, hear that? That's all the seed. Those will come up next year. So I got a little bit of sage over here, and that's next to my thyme. And they're doing okay. I might make myself some garlic bread tonight. Might come out and trim some of that thyme, put it on some garlic bread. Thyme, tarragon, and parsley, garlic, and butter, and Parmesan make a very great garlic bread. So anyway, herb garden, doing pretty good. Like I said, here's the tomatoes. This is the mini Sweet Millions or something like that, I believe was the variety. Yeah, they're gone crazy. They're gonna be all over the top of this thing pretty soon. They're just, because they're indeterminate, they're a vine, and look, they're just taking over this fence. They're gonna come sideways. They'll probably be right behind the basil. Well, we got a lot of August left. They might get all the way back. So there you go. That's how the garden's doing, with me doing nothing to it. So like I said, this week is gonna be an opportunity for me. I'm gonna do some stuff and catch up a few things. I will get in here and do some extra watering this week because we're in a drought. Which is not a surprise. That drought is not a surprise. We did not have a lot of snow this winter. And the weather pattern during the winter was indicative that we weren't going to have much rain this summer. If you pay attention to those things, they are all patterns, and they're not 100%, but you can kind of 80%, 75% know what's happening if you're paying attention to nature. So there you go. Thanks for hanging out with me for this few minutes. Now I gotta go get some work done. Have a great day. I know I plan to.